I was gonna make this video yesterday, but I actually decided to play 2 days of this new patch because I wanted to give it a fair chance. I didn't want to play maybe just a couple hours and then come to a conclusion and then make this video and end up changing my mind. So I wanted to play it a lot to get an actual good idea of what this is like. This background gameplay is my first Death Singer game and first game on this map, this new Rework map, and immediately you can just see how laggy it is. You saw that massive stutter there. You can see here I'm getting stuck on these annoying things. They seriously need to remove these. I'm getting stuck on them every time. It's so annoying. But throughout this video, just this gameplay, you're going to see like so many bugs and hitbox issues and everything. I'll start off right. I'll start off with the survivor animations. Uh, the survivor animations, they look alright. I don't think they look that bad. I think they could maybe improve some of them, especially the injured running animation. But they don't look that bad. But I'll tell you what the problem is. Playing Death Singer, I've come so used to what the survivors run like, what they look like, what they turn like. I missed so many shots this game because I just got completely caught off guard by the survivors animation, and I don't know what the hell they're at. Like, it is very, and I could get used to this, but it is just so annoying to get to see like survivors running differently and they turn differently, and it's just so hard to hit your shots and stuff like that. Also, hitbox issues. Not just on the survivor side. Survivors are getting hit by so far away consistently. Hitbox is really bad. But also as Death Singer, so many of my shots went through survivors this game. At least like 5 or 6 shots just went right past the survivor, like literally through their arms, through their heads, and it's really bad. This map itself, uh, Disturbed Ward, is barely different. I see that they made that palette, which was originally really weak in the PTB. They made it a lot stronger. It's now a god palette. So they didn't really do much to this. There's a breakable wall near that overpowered window, but it's still incredibly strong. And the graphics themselves, they look alright. The map looks extremely dull, which I guess it's supposed to. It's supposed to look like a burned down asylum, but it really does look completely devoid of color. Now on to like one of the really big things which I have a huge issue with is the UI. It is so bad. Like, for starters, they didn't need to change the UI. Secondly, when they did put this in the PTB, everything was negative, and rightfully so. It's a shit UI. Objectively, it's a shit UI. Not just did they not even need to change the UI, but they didn't even make it better in any way. It's worse in every way imaginable. For starters, my perks and power are absolutely massive. They take up so much of the screen, and it's incredibly distracting, but everything else is absolutely tiny. I can barely tell what the survivors' states are. I can barely tell how many generators are left. Like, look up on the top screen there. The generators are so small, and it's almost opaque. The font is like grey, and it's almost see-through. It's so hard to see. Like, I actually have to look at it for a good like second just to tell how many generators there are left. When before this, I could almost see how many generators were left in my peripheral vision. I didn't even have to look down to the corner. The same with injured survivors. I could see them in my peripheral vision, how many people are injured. Now you have to like take a good look because of the shit UI, these tiny little pictures that barely change when someone's injured. It's horrible. It's incredibly hard to tell anything. Look at this shit. This girl's walking through these walls, and I was so confused right now. Look, and then I started walking through the walls. Like, look at the state of this. I'm missing. I'm getting so confused right here. Look, half these walls don't even have hitboxes. You can just walk right through them. Like, how did this even get onto the live server? How did they miss this shit? Like, everything is so bad. This new UI is horrible. It's horrible. Everything is so spread out. Everything is hard to see. It's annoying. It looks like a goddamn mobile game. It was so much better. A game I've been playing these days is Apex. If you actually see clips, hold on, I'll actually put a clip in here right now. Right, if you take a look at this UI, basically what Behavior did would have taken my two teammates, put them up in the middle of the screen, put my weapon up in the where my teammates used to be, and then put where all the squads left and my map in the top of the screen. That's basically what Behavior did. This is a fine UI. The other one was a fine UI. What Behavior did was completely dumb, and like what I described there would have been the equivalent of what behavior would have done. It's such a shit UI, objectively, and it's terrible. I don't know how the hell it got past all the. Do these idiots have any quality assessment in behavior? Like, who thought this was a good idea and who allowed it? Like, they all had to agree in this. Did nobody? Well, look at this lag as well. Like, did nobody during this process of creating this UI say, this isn't a very good UI, we should probably do something different, or we should just scrap this entirely? Like, there's no way everyone in behavior agreed that this was a good UI, and if they did, unfortunately, that wouldn't even be surprising. So overall, not happy with the UI. The new animations are not horrible, but definitely could be better, and are seriously throwing me off in terms of playing Death or stuff. Like I said, this palette used to be shit in the PTB, but they changed it. That's a god palette now. Thanks a lot, behavior. You just love your god palettes, don't you? Per changes are minuscule. The buffs were pointless, to be honest. Buffing shit perks a little bit isn't going to make them viable. These shit perks you need to completely give them massive buffs if you even want them to be seen at all. The Undying nerf, like I said, it makes it useless with Ruin. Don't bother using it with Ruin. Decent survivors who know totem spawns will get rid of it within about a minute of each match. Like, they will find one totem within like 30 seconds, they will cleanse it. They will find the next one about 40 seconds later and they will cleanse it. It's alright with Devour, but even then, your best bet is to just not use this perk anymore. Go back to Corrupt and Pop. Now to the main thing, which is the clown rework. I was actually going to do a video on the PTB and the clown rework, but I didn't. And I'll tell you why I didn't. Because I thought they were going to change him. Mostly negative feedback on the clown rework as well. It was shit. Objectively, the killer was barely any better. The only real buff he got was the reload speed buff. And that's nowhere near enough. It didn't solve any issues with Clown, and this rework has definitely been the worst one so far. Freddy, at least it made him way stronger. It did make him pretty boring, but at least it made him way stronger. The Doctor made him a lot more fun to play and made him much stronger. This one here is shit. The Clown is virtually barely strong at all. He's basically the exact same killer. I have played hours of this Clown rework, probably about 20 games of this new Clown. I'm not even joking. I have yet to get any value out of these new bottles. Any value. I have probably thrown about 20 at the most out of about 20 games. At the most. And I have not got any value from them at all. They're so shit and useless, it's insane. Like, the only decent thing about this clown rework was the reload speed buff. And that's minuscule. You can completely solve that with an old add-on, a yellow add-on. And they removed his exhaustion add-ons. Like, this clown rework is horrible. I thought they would change these yellow bottles. I thought they would make them better, more useful. But they didn't. These bottles are shit. They're useless. They provide no utility whatsoever. They might as well not exist. Because I've literally gone, like, these stupid wee things here again screw me over. But I've literally gone games where I just haven't even used his bottles once. And that should tell you something about how shit they are. How useless they are. Like, I don't know what behavior we're thinking with this rework because it's just so bad, so uninspired, so lazy. Like, there was absolutely no effort put into it. They were just sitting there, alright, we're going to do a clown rework, what are we going to do? Give them a different gas, alright, what's it going to do? It's going to speed you up, okay. Alright, you throw a different type of gas, you walk through it, it speeds you up. That's literally it. And it speeds survivors up as well, survivors can use it. Don't try to say you can use it. By the time you put one bottle down, if towards the survivor and then a yellow bottle towards you and you walk through and try to get around, the survivors either left the loop or they're camping a pallet just waiting for you to come around so they can vault it like Clown usually does. Clown is no different. These bottles are shit. I thought he would get changed. I thought maybe they would buff him, but they didn't. It's a terrible rework. He needs so much more work done to him. At least these balls should give you more speed and not work for the survivors. Like, what's the point? If they work for the survivors and you're putting them at a loop, a survivor can run through your purple gas, but if they run to the other side and hit that yellow gas, they'll immediately speed up again. So if it's a shorter loop, then they can go around it and completely negate the effects. It's terrible. It's terrible. This is just such a shitty update, and I already wasn't liking Dead by Daylight, but this just made it even worse. Like, I don't want to play these days This made it. I already wasn't liking Debadeli, and this just made me not want to play the game even more. The only thing I want to play for is that Rift. The Oni skin is really nice, but I don't even know if I want to buy it because you need to progress quite through the Rift, and I don't know if I even want to play Debadeli that much. But that's my thoughts on this update. I just don't really like it at all. There's really nothing to like, to be honest. There isn't really much to like.